One time for the replay crew. Thank you for joining. This is just another late night live stream. Welcome to the channel if you're new. If you're returning, I appreciate you. Now, the topic of tonight's discussion is if you want to be rich, you have to do what the rich people do. What do I mean by that? Think about it. People, people that are wealthy, a lot of them, they don't drive around in anything fancy. A lot of rich people, they have ordinary cars that's cheap to maintain, good on gas. A lot of wealthy people, they're driving like Hondas and Toyotas and stuff like that. Now, meanwhile, people that don't really have money like that, they want to drive nice, expensive, fancy cars, BMWs and Audis. And if you know anything about cars and repair costs, some of those foreign cars are very, very expensive and you can't skip maintenance on them. So now let's talk about just having a different mindset. A lot of the wealthy people, they don't walk around with with expensive Jordans on or $200-300 sneakers. And those that do, they usually tend to go broke rather quickly. Now, as far as the wealthy people think about it, most of the times you can't even tell that a person is very wealthy just by looking at them. They don't have a whole bunch of designer clothes on or anything like that. They're good with a $5 t shirt and whatnot. They don't have to have $1,000 jeans on. They wear a pair of Wranglers or something from Walmart. That's just that's just the whole mindset that they have. They take their money, they make your money work for them. They they will go and they will invest their money. They'll have all of their money designated for a specific cause. A lot of people that are broke really don't. You feel like you get paid, you get your paycheck and stuff like that. You want to go and party first, and then at the end, now you want to scramble to come up with the money to pay your bills. Welcome to the chat, everybody. Thank you for joining. So at the end of the day, if you have all your money going towards a cause, you're supposed to party with what's left. How you doing, Ava? Thank you for joining. Now, rich people, they like to invest their money. Now, I'm a big advocate on investing. I don't really do long term investing, but I've started recently and I'm going to stick with it. Now, that's called giving your money a purpose. And if you ever heard the phrase pay yourself first, that's exactly what that is. It's kind of the same thing as when your job takes your 401k money out. Now, a lot of times you have to pay for them to do that, when in all actuality, you can just contribute the minimum that the company is going to match and then put the rest of it into your pocket and invest into what you want. How you doing, Lily? Do I know Nirvana? I'm I know a little bit about Nirvana. I know a couple of songs. How you doing, ladies of Attack? Thank you for joining. But now, what was I saying? Yes, a lot of times people just don't, know exactly what to do, and I feel like there's always information that's available. Now, are people really willing to put in the work to do that? I don't think so. Let's say you wanted to start a company. That's what people that have money do. They start a company and make their money work for them. Now, how many people are actually doing that? Not very many. So we have to always be willing to change the way we think about certain situations. We have to, just follow what they do. Think of them as a leader, and if you see something is working for them, why not, you know, kind of piggyback off of what they do. So I know everybody's just coming in. So one of the examples I gave was how wealthy people don't drive fancy cars. They drive in regular Hondas and Toyotas, and you'll never know that they had a whole lot of money just by looking at them. But back to where we were in the discussion. Now, even with these businesses, these big brand businesses that we know of, they operate off of debt. They don't operate off of their own money. So a lot of people, when they think about debt, it's kind of scary and it's kind of like, oh, no, no, screw that. Debt it can be a good thing if you know how to utilize it correctly. Now, let's talk about what's good, Zoe. Welcome to the chat, bro. Now, let's talk about people's time. Your time, that's the only resource that you cannot renew in this life. Wealthy people, they don't trade their time for money, aka going to work. They're running the company and the company is working for them. And now, even if it's something they can't do, they hire people to do that for them. I made a point about that in my video last night. I just want everybody to start thinking a little bit differently. Okay, Supreme. Okay, welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, the mindset is that we just need to stop trying to, please other people. Those people with their big bankrolls, they don't give a fuck about what you think about them. Shit, they in the regular car, so if that motherfucker get crashed up, don't nobody care about none of that. Hell, they gonna go buy another $5,000 beater cash. And meanwhile, most of us we just trying to have the fancy car and shit like that. And we gotta really get out of that type of mindset. Now, do do you want to be rich or do you want to wish you was rich? A lot of times, even if they have like millions of dollars in the bank, they'll sit there, they'll pay a mortgage on their house and they'll just keep their money. I don't think a lot of people really understand. And as their house builds equity, they're gonna take out debt on it, like a loan. They're gonna take out a home equity loan, and they're gonna take that money and flip it. They're gonna buy some income properties, and they're gonna just work like that. So now the tenants in the income property is sitting there and paying a mortgage on that house, and they're paying their equity line back, home equity line, and then they just repeat the process. Now it's all now a portfolio. Supreme said, I want to be rich. I want to be rich too, man. Shit. So let me ask you, Supreme, do you designate your money every dollar that you have that comes into your household? Does every dollar have a purpose and a final destination? Zoe want to be rich too. So same question to you, Zoe. You know what I'm saying? Do y'all get y'all paycheck and then just go party, and then at the end, once you done partying for the weekend, now it's like, damn, I kind of short now on my damn bills. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get everybody to get away from that mindset. Take care of the home. Oh yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact, bro. So do you feel like you could do something differently? As far as with your, I'm not pocket counting or nothing like that, but you feel like you waste money. Excuse me. You feel like sometimes you waste money on unnecessary stuff? Cause I do. I definitely do. So I definitely have work to do on even on my end. I'm getting better at it. I'm not all the way there yet, but shit, it's all a learning curve. Waste money every time I go outside. Yo, that's a fact though. Outside is expensive, bro. So I'm in the same boat. That's why I try not to go outside if I don't have to. But yeah, as far as with the fancy cars and all this other shit, I've been there. I did that back in my 20s. Had me a nice Honda Accord that I couldn't afford. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it was nice, but it wasn't a small move to make. Had that damn car payment that was 520 a month. My insurance was about another 300. And meanwhile, I could that's 800 and something dollars a month on a car that's depreciating. You need some shirts? Okay, Supreme. Well, I'll hit you up, bro. So where was I? Yeah, that $800 a month. I'll sit here and look back at it. If I would have knew a little bit more, or made a different decision, you know things could have been different. Maybe not. But just every day is a better day to grow. It's another learning lesson. $800 a month, and you break that down, fucking 12 months in a year. Oof, it's almost $10,000. Chef, what's good, Chef? Thank you for joining, bro. So meanwhile, I was spending $10,000 a year to have this car that was nice to look at, that was depreciating. Like that shit is kind of crazy now. Now that I look at it, and then if I'd have took that, invested in something, just whatever, even if it was a couple of dollars a day, just like I'm doing now, that could have been a snowball type of effect. But we live and we learn. But nowadays, I don't need none of the designer stuff, because when I know, even from listening to coaches live earlier, a lot of stuff that people do is a defense mechanism. So if you got a expensive outfit on, how much them jeans cost, like $1,000 or something like that, and all this other stuff. I know people that dress like that, and then you go out, you say you go to the club or something, they ain't got no money in their pocket. It's kind of like, bro, what are you doing? Like your priorities be fucked up. You could be just as clean with some cheap kicks on, with a $5 T-shirt, and you can still bag the baddies if you want, as opposed to the nigga that's trying to be all flashy. It's all a defense mechanism. So I've learned today. But yeah, be in the club holding on to one drink all night. Bro, you was not lying. Try to get the drink with no ice in it so they could get more. Man, if I'm ever that bad off, it's okay to just be like, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna just kick it at the crib. You fuck around, pay for two drinks, and you could have got you a little small bottle or something and kicked it at the house. For real. But yeah, nowadays, as far as even with my car, got me a nice little hoopty. I enjoy working on that motherfucker when it's warm, and I just put miles on it. You know, I ain't got a high ass car payment. Be worried about putting too many miles on it and shit like that. And you know, I think that's kind of the first step. You know, just to being like the wealthy people. Hell, they drive Hondas and Toyotas. Shit, I got a Pontiac. Fuck it. It is what it is. And Supreme, if you in here, you know the stock market's still crashing, right? I don't want to say crash because that sounds extreme. But Supreme, okay, you know the stocks is still dropping, right? The market's still dropping. Oh, okay, in both lives. Okay, Supreme. Yeah, bro. This about to be great. So that ties into the topic too. Investing money. Shit, all them people that got bread, they take a set amount and they put it in stocks. You know what I'm saying? Think about people like Warren Buffett. That's a prime example. What what play you playing? I ain't pull. I'm gonna pull my charts up now. I ain't been. I'm probably play Spotto Supreme. I ain't got a whole bunch of money in my account right now. I'm checking my account. Not my account. AMD and Nvidia. Okay, okay, okay. Ooh, that's a nice decline on the market. But yeah, Warren Buffett. The man is stupid, filthy rich. Been investing in stocks for a long time. The man drives a regular ass car. He's still living in his first house that he bought. I forgot where it's at. I think in Kansas or something like that. You get what I'm saying? He don't do nothing flashy. I'm sure his suits is worth a lot of bread though, but he's a businessman. You know, living a simple life, sitting on stupid amounts of money. I think that's kind of dope. And even though he could afford whatever the hell he want. If he want to go buy a damn a Bugatti, that's light money on him. He go and buy that shit with cash, drive it right off the showroom if he wanted to, you know. But the wealthy people, those material things that we, you know, cherish or adore, to them it's just another object. You know, yeah, they could get it, but now that when they had the means to do it, it's kind of like, whatever. I don't need any of that. Buying depreciating assets. You know, why is it that we feel the need to do that? To impress what? People that don't matter or people that don't really care? Or do we do it for clout? Do you know, just so somebody could say, oh, that car is hot. Oh, them jeans is nice. Well, that's cool, but you know, do you have the right mindset? Are you are you focused on the future or are you focused on right now? And I know we tend to use the phrase YOLO and stuff like that, which is true, but does living like YOLO, does that really help shape our future? I don't think it does. So I got a few people in the chat. So I wanted to ask everybody, you know, if you still tuned in, you know, I know a lot of people might cut the live on and go do their business or whatever the case. Pause. But you know, are you trying to really be like the 1%? Are you moving in the direction of that 1% way of thinking? I know for me, that's definitely the end goal in my book. The market could be that chance to be. Yeah, yeah. Are you getting in the market at opening? Yeah, Supreme. You know, it's not early, but it's kind of early for me and shit. So yeah, I'm gonna go to bed a little bit early tonight. Zoe said you not. Okay, okay. Well, okay for your response, Zoe. You know, I'm you know, we just having a discussion here. So you say that you content, you know, overall with how life is going. You know, if you are, it's who am I to say something is wrong with that? I ain't I ain't nobody. But yeah, that's he said heck no. I feel you, bro. You know, I'm just trying to put things together. Yeah, yeah, you know, that's a fact. But think about it. At least you have that thought in your mind. You know that okay, I can do things a little bit differently, or you know, I do want different, you know, for the fam and stuff like that. A lot of people they still doing the same stuff they was doing when they was teenagers. You know, being comfortable, just chilling on the block all day, not not going to work, not doing nothing. And I know people that's like that. I'm sure you know people that's like that. And it's pretty sad. But at the end of the day, people are gonna live their life how they want. All you could do is, try to offer some words of wisdom, a little bit of knowledge, and what they do with that. At the end of the day, that's ultimately up to them. How you doing, Faith? Thank you for joining. So we're just having a talk. Um, the topic of the discussion tonight is, if you want to be wealthy, do as the wealthy people do. So some of the talking points were, how the wealthy people they wear regular clothes, they don't have these designer jeans on and things like that. They have regular cars that are inexpensive to keep maintained. They'll take their house, and even though they had the money to pay it off, they'll just pay the monthly mortgage on it. Then they'll take the home equity loan, buy a rental property, rent that out. Now the renters are paying the mortgage on that house. It's pretty genius. And I hope I could be in that position one day to really be able to start doing that. I don't know if I want to deal with people renting because they, oof, I know it's a whole lot of horror stories with that. But yeah, wealthy stay wealthy by not frivolously spending, investing, etc. Exactly. That's exactly what my point was, Faith. Rent a previous home, I will never do it again. Yeah, yeah, I get that. I think as far as me, if I ever get to that point, I'm probably just have it let my kids stay there. If anything, just fix and flip. Yeah, that's smart too. That's smart too. Okay, Supreme, you good, bro? Yeah, that's definitely a good point, Faith. It's funny you say that. I love watching those shows on HGTV. Those shows are really great to me. I swear. But yeah, wholesaling, but it got expensive. Okay, Faith. Faith, I like that. You on your grind. You about your money. I like that. Definitely nothing wrong with that. So that's the thing. So even where I stay at in North Carolina, I was kind of thinking about I do want to relocate somewhere. I think I just been staying there because my rent is cheap. All right, chef, you good, bro? I appreciate you. But yeah, I just I don't know. First things first, I gotta get away from this place. This place is not it. But I definitely just got to figure out somewhere to relocate to. So said chef cooking something. Yeah, I seen that though. You know, it's all good. This live ain't gonna probably be going on too much longer. Want to leave Memphis? Okay, Faith. So, did you have anywhere particular in mind? You know, any areas of the country, or you just don't know, but you just really want to leave Memphis? Where I'm trying to move to? Um, so I was thinking somewhere. I was thinking Charlotte. Um, I was, and then outside of Charlotte in South Carolina is a town called Greenville, South Carolina. Um, I've been there on a work assignment. That was fun. I had fun there. But I'm thinking maybe Georgia. I I don't know. Face up. Florida, Dallas, or Phoenix. Warmth is your goal. Pause. Pause. Paying rent in Carolina. Yeah, yeah. So I'm paying rent in Carolina, but right now I'm up in North Dakota. So I came up here on the traveling assignment, contract working, and when I got here, you know, things kind of slowed down as far as the traveling work, and you know, I just been here chilling. Hey, Lori, welcome to the chat. Thank you for joining. But in Carolina, my rent ain't but $575. I've been that house I live in. I've been there for going on 8 years. July make 8 years. I've been in that house. You know, so for me to even try to start moving, I hate moving. You know, as it is. But then to move and then be paying more rent, I don't know. I don't know, bro. You know, I'm just trying to figure everything out. And it ain't the fact of, you know, getting through all of the hurdles and stuff like that, you know. I've done it before. I just want to make sure that wherever I go to, the cost of living ain't too high, and also, you know, the jobs are, you know, readily available, at least until I get something going on the side, hustle type tip, pause. You know, but yeah. Lori, what you got going on tonight, Lori? Oh, Elena came in the building too. How you doing, Elena? Thank you for joining. If you leave now, you gotta give the money back. Yeah. Hey, Supreme, the only markets that's open right now is the Forex market. Forex and futures. Stock market is closed right now, Supreme. Monday. Yeah, I'm gonna play them. I'm gonna play Monday, bro. Zoe said F that. So Zoe, I mean with that, at the end of the day, all they could really do is garnish my tax refunds. I mean, other than that, I gotta stay here till damn July, July the 15th. And trust me, like I'm over this shit here. They said how you today. So Elena, I'm good. You know, just jumped online, on live, I should say. You know, chilling like your shirt. Thank you, homemade. So as far as with my shirt, the roll of vinyl cost me about $18. I could make 6 shirts with this vinyl. You know, of the same size logo. The shirt was $3. Get what I'm saying? If I would have had somebody print this shirt for me, that would have cost me $25. You get what I'm saying? So say you want that pause, I think. So yeah, so like this is it's bad here. Um, the work is work. You know, it's a job. Damn, did I say hi to Mind Journey? If I didn't, I'm sorry, Mind Journey. If I did, you know, welcome. But yeah, the job is the job. Can't complain about that. I don't do shit at work. Easily top three easiest jobs I've had in my life. So the pay is the highest I've made in my life. The location, trash, trash, trash. So if this job was closer to home or somewhere warmer, cool, fuck it. Hold on, I'm missing something in the chat. Does Elena make content? Yeah. My bad. I gotta give everybody a wrench because I be slacking. Ashtray, what's up? How you doing? How you doing? What do you actually do though? I lay up carbon fiber, and you know we then they form it to make the airplane cabins. Faith said, "What do you do, Tommy?" Yo, yo. Yeah, so you know, we got our different tools and stuff like that. We carbon fiber comes in sheets, you know, like on a roll. They cut it into different shapes, and then we form the parts of the aircraft. You know, they send it into the oven. You know, gotta bake the parts for whatever. It's different times for different parts, and then from here they send everything into Minnesota, and they assemble the airplanes there. Then somebody flies the planes that's fully built and assembled. Somebody flies it down to Knoxville, Tennessee, and that's where they deliver the planes to the customers. What's up, Trish? Gotta go out there, get you a sweet wine to hold you down, make time go by. Yeah, so you right. I mean, I need to start going back outside, but I mean, it's pretty much the same thing anywhere you go. So here, since this is a college town, you know, you go to the clubs and shit. It's always 20 something, 21, 22 year olds. You know, that's borderline creepy to me. You know, I'm almost twice these girls' age. And then the older females that are there, you know, they old, washed up, and it's just, nah, I'm good. Sound like a sweet job. Yeah, Lena, the job is sweet. It is. It's cool. You know, it's just everything else. Zoe says she ain't even got a big Q. Trust me, they're not. They're not. So I got this. There's this one bar that I like to go to. Like it's this old lady. Like she she be she be hitting on your boy and shit, and it's just like, nah, lady, you about old enough to be my mama. Go to Target or Whole Foods. Some being there. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Washed up. Sound clean, elevated. My journey. Why, bro? Why you coming for me like this? Late night, turn off the light type. Oh yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. But nah, nah. It's nice to know someone out there likes us. Go to Walmart. So the thing about here, it's a lot of African population. So that's the majority of what I see at Walmart. You know, you come across a couple of soccer moms here and there, or whatever, but you know, they kids be bad. You know, I can't. So a lot of times, even with the perception of the interracial thing, a lot of them they be liking chocolate men because I get a lot of I get a lot of snow bunnies on my Facebook dating and my plenty of fish and Tinder and you know stuff like that. But they don't be looking good. Like, and it's just like, okay, I could deal with a little bit of ugly, but usually you got to take them out. You at least want to not completely dog them out. So it's like, okay, cool. Let's go hit up somewhere, grab a bite to eat or something. But I can't. They don't be looking good. Gold is nice too. That's crazy. Supreme, you said how much sleep do I get? On the average, usually 3, maybe 4 hours a night. It is what it is. So I like to think of a quote. Don't flame me for this because I know Steve Harvey ain't shit, but he said you can never become a millionaire by sleeping 8 hours a day. And I think that's true. You gotta always have, some type of motion going. Pause. Never mind, bro. Never mind. But so anybody that didn't know, like since we talking about the snow bunnies, that's why I named my Chat GPT assistant. That's why I named it. I named her Snowflake. It's a white girl voice, and I thought it was kind of funny to name her Snowflake. What Elaine said, "Why so little sleep?" So because during the work week, I usually get off work between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. And then you get off, you gotta come home, unwind, and the stock market opens up at 8:30. So I got a 4 hour window. Some days I do oversleep. Some days I don't even hear my alarm go off. Some days I'll ignore it. But yeah, just I'm trying to find my way into a whole lot of wealth. And what's the saying? The early bird gets the worm. Pause. Never mind. That didn't even sound right. So we got about 7 people in the chat. So I know a lot of people might feel like I'm a what's it called? I'm feel like I'm a woman basher or stuff like that. I'm not. I'm really not. Um, I become a lot more selective, and you know I'm a lot pickier now. Sleep is necessary to detoxify. You can hit all the stages if you don't sleep long enough. You can't hit all the stages. Okay, Mind Journey. You mind break that down a little bit more for me? Cause I didn't know there were stages to detoxification. Dang, this shit. I be learning a lot. This is cool. But as far as sleeping, like I said, sometimes I watch Tony Gasson's Pop the Balloon reviews. No, I haven't. I'm going subscribe right now. Tony Haskins. 6 hours of sleep most days. Okay. Just then a random question I could Google one. You might know the answer. If the markets are international, what time do you go by for trading in other markets? So as far as internationally, now that's either forex, which is the foreign exchange, or that's futures. Now with those, you could start trading on Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern, and that stays open. Those markets stay open 24 hours a day until Friday night at 6 p.m. So they close from Friday night to Sunday night, and then they open again 24 hours. We will let you start early, don't it? I answer that for you right now, Supreme. Now I know as far you can't play stock options right now, Supreme. And if you was trying to buy stocks, what it'll do is it'll put your put your order in a queue, and it'll fill when the market opens. So it's not technically live trading. SoFi is 857. Bitcoin is at 77. Whoa. Everything on wholesale. Shit, everything about on clearance just about. Damn. Damn, I forgot the dude name already. Tony Gaskins. Tony Gaskin. But yeah. Amazon is 163. Google 139. Are you fucking kidding? Mondre said there are four stages of sleep. The third stage is when you start to detoxify. The fourth is recovery. It's the deepest stage. Consider the time when your brain takes the trash out. So, my journey is there a certain length of time where these four stages of detoxification happen, or is that different for each individual person? Danielle said I had some random percentages of Bitcoin, not percentages like decimal points. Danielle, what do you mean random percentages? Like a piece of a piece. So you talking about in your portfolio? Cause I feel like you mean it says 0 point something something Bitcoin, something like that. When you go, yeah, okay, when you could buy a whole one, like a slice, yes. So what do you mean you don't know what it means? Face said Nvidia's at $92. Man, Nvidia about to skyrocket. I swear, to God. Paul, pause. Paul. Definitely depends on the person. Okay, so mine, Jenny, when you talk about these different phases and things like that, does all the sleep have to be continuous? Because I do sometimes when I wake up early or I don't have a lot of sleep, a lot of times I will, take a power nap before it's time for me to get ready for work, or just is it goes in cycles. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, Faith, what you know about Aristotle? That's he got good content. I do follow him on my personal page, but I follow a few people that do stocks or talk stocks. But my Discord mentor, he said not to it's not a good idea, to follow the stock YouTubers and stuff. So I've really stopped watching most of their content for the most part. Over 40 Club takes naps. So I swear to God, a nap that's a part of the daily routine. A brother be cranky as hell at work, especially if I ain't getting no napping. Yeah, they know not to fuck with me. I be that angry black person. For real, for real. Face said I bought his course and I still need to go through it. Okay. When did you say to buy Apple if it went down to 194? Is that what you said Friday? I know you cannot give financial advice. Dang. I like this though. Everybody turned up with the stocks. We have a sick room at work. I book it every day. Yo, Faith, that was funny. That was funny to me. A sick room at work is 178 right now. Dang, y'all got me on live. About to pull up my charts. Here they come. Okay, okay. Damo, what's good, bro? They coming over. Okay, okay. So stash in the building, and we almost an hour in. That's what's up. My journey said as long as you get to something, you're good. That's the stage with detoxification, tissue repair, cell regeneration, and immune strengthening happen. That's how you avoid brain issues like Alzheimer's. Okay, okay. Danielle secretly buys stock, but don't tell nobody. My hubby is not a risk taker, but I am. Danielle, Danielle, are you hiding stuff from your hubby? You know God is watching you, right, Danielle? Jesus will slap the back of your neck with his sandal. How dare you? I'm just playing. Coach in the building. Kids from Jay in the building. Faye said I need some more money to invest. Okay, okay, okay. All right, I think I agree to everybody. Danielle, you got your own account, but is it your own money? Cause you know in a marriage, his money is your money and your money is your money, but you're probably spending his money as your money while you pocket your money, and the money that you make off of his money is still your money, and you're not gonna pay him back his money. You ain't slick, Danielle. I hope you paying attention. You should be ashamed of yourself. There ain't nothing but the devil, Danielle. Mm, 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 mm. No, everybody's upset with everything that's going on, but the market is set up for the greatest transfer of wealth ever in our lifetime right now. Yeah, Supreme. You ain't lying. You ain't lying. So, so Coach, you remember your live earlier, Coach? You know, I had to take a little bit of your knowledge. I had to act like it was mine. I'm lying. I gave you your credit earlier, but I was saying that people when they have the all the designer clothes on and stuff like that. I said I feel like that was a defense mechanism, and I got that from you, Coach. You did that, and I sounded damn smart saying that. You did that, Coach. Thank you. Let's see. Let's see. We have our money, then my money, and his money. We each get a percentage of what make to spend as we please. I'm a good wife. Says who, Danielle? Let me stop. Let me stop messing with you. AMD hasn't been this low since before COVID. The thing with AMD, nah, I'm bugging. Never mind. I was thinking about AMC. I was gonna say, between that and that GameStop type of situation, but yeah, you said AMD. He said he was alright. Coach said it is a defense mechanism, but so yeah, so everybody that's just joining in the chat, the gist of the topic of the discussion was, how broke people spend money on things to impress other people. Wealthy people they don't care what people think. Wealthy people, they driving Hondas and Toyotas. Broke people driving BMWs and Audis and know damn well they can't afford to maintain them. Things like that. But I digress. So what we saying? What we saying? Supreme Law 7 with GameStop. Damn. Y'all like Tesla? So Faith, Tesla is that's my favorite stock to trade options with. But I have a love hate relationship with Tesla. Um, in my brain, I want to be able to say one day that Tesla stock bought me a Tesla. So I'm gonna stand 10 toes down on that statement. Supreme said Tesla stock is on wholesale right now. I messed up with options though. Yeah, I still fuck up to this day with options on Tesla. The swings are volatile. You ain't lying, bro. You was not lying. One thing for sure though, Tesla isn't going anywhere in the next 25 to 40 years. That's a fact. Face said understood. Yeah, Tesla, when it's running or dropping, like them, it have $30 a day moves, up direction, down direction. Like Tesla is crazy. So around this time last year, I had a little bit of extra money to play with or whatever. So I had put like 3 grand in my trading account, and I played Tesla stock options. I turned like 3 grand into 10, and then I paid some bills with that money. But like that was my best month ever. Like I love Tesla stock when it's hitting, it's hitting. Pause. Don't like Elon. Know he's gonna mess up the Memphis water quality with his facility here. Oh, that's crazy. What's a good stock to invest in right now? So Damo, bro, like the whole market, anything, bro. So now it's just as far as trying to learn how to invest. I say pick stocks that you know, like pick different companies that you know, Walmart, Target, stuff like that. So with my Abundant April challenge, I chose 5 different sectors of the stock market to invest in. You know what I'm saying? And it's supposed to be just beginner friendly, you know, stuff that people know. So in my challenge, my stock holdings are Tesla stock, Google, okay, we all on YouTube right now. I got Nvidia, I got JP Morgan Chase, and I got Pepsi. That's my five stocks for my challenge. And I had forgot JP Morgan pays a dividend. So when I was doing my 1 week review on the Abundant April challenge, I saw that the JP Morgan is paying a dividend on the 30th. I was like, oh shit. I got $4 in the stock right now. My dividend gonna be 2 cents. Most people be like 2 cents, that ain't shit. Nah, 2 cents is just the beginning. And I got it reinvesting right back into the stock. You know what I'm saying? So that's really, you know, free money. And that's just gonna snowball effect. Supreme said no taxes on unrealized gains. Okay, I might have missed something. Oh, she said everything pays dividends. Hold for 2 years and pay a lower percentage. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Again, people, this is not financial advice. If you need financial advice, you need to call a professional. Let the chat continue. Danielle said I'll get a dividend from AT&T. Okay, okay. Yeah, I was thinking about who said something about a book? Oh, okay. Faith said something about a book. I was thinking about writing an ebook. Kind. I've been thinking about that for the longest time. Only thing I don't want to type the shit up. So I was thinking how I could make it the easiest way. That sounds so lazy, I swear, but do it and publish it in Amazon. Dictate to Chat GPT. Yo, Faith, yo, I gotta Faith, I'm gonna owe you a dinner. Respectfully, yeah, Snowflake. Talk to text and use chat. Okay, okay. Supreme said held the house for 2 years during COVID. It went up 220,000. Whoa! So made 120 profit and then pay 1 penny in taxes legally. Oh, Supreme, that's a goat move right there, bro. Jay said I'm in the background. Y'all, I'm going to sleep, but I'll keep it rolling for the watch hours. Thank you, Jay. Thank you. Good night, y'all. I think an ebook would be a great idea for you to do. Okay, okay. Daniel said, yep, we on the save wavelength. Prince said that was a crazy time. Okay. Yeah, man. Hey, didn't they release a new variant or something of the epidemic? I don't know if I could say the word or not. I don't know. We refinanced during the panorama and the mortgage was lower than rent. Dang. Real estate agent said she had never seen anything like that in her life. Yeah, I could imagine. I could imagine. All right, Jay. Good night. That's crazy. Shiba Inu. I haven't looked at Shiba in months. I don't think I have the patience to really hold the stock that long. And I mean, I was rocking with Dogecoin. I think it went from like 31 cent and it popped up to 67 cent. I didn't have a whole lot of money into it, but then like I was like, okay, cool. I took my money out of that mug. Some of them cryptos are too volatile for me, just so unknown. There are also programs that will create the ebook for you. Designer is one of them. Okay, thank you for that, Danielle. XRP, XRP. Oh, XRP. That chart looks nice. I ain't gonna lie. Said I bet people were buying like crazy because rates were so low and inventory was also low. Created crazy demand. Prices will still go up. Prices still go up on homes. Supreme said I lost my ass with Doge. 12K for the night. He made that stupid ass joke on Saturday Night Live. Damn, Supreme. Shit. Yeah, you don't be playing for real, for real. 12K. Whew. I'd have been mad in a mug. 5 minute chart. Let's go on the hourly. My bad, y'all. I just pulled up the XRP chart. All right, one hour chart ain't hitting on shit. I could imagine you was pissed. I'd have been pissed too. So XRP right now, it hasn't been this low since February 3rd. Now on that day, it's a lot of buyers right there where it's at. I got it at 104.93. Is that in billions? What the fuck? Kinda. Hold on, let me switch. I don't know what the fuck this is. Yeah, some of these cryptos, I hate the fact that you'll pull it up, and it's a different scale on Binance, it's a different scale on Coinbase, it's a different scale on. But XRP is definitely in the damn. It's in the buy zone, but I will wait to see if it was gonna wait to see if it pulls back below 1.77. Yeah, 12K is crazy. For real, for real. Talk for like 15 minutes. I was just watching it, trying to put it. But of course, the system crashed. So you be peeping how the market operates too. A certain stock will be it'll be it'll be crashing or it'll be pumping in a short squeeze, and then next thing you know, the damn markets is halted. That's why I really try to I stay away from those super volatile stocks. Said Google it. I got you. Elon Musk, Saturday Night Live.
News, I'm Reed Dunley. Elon Musk, the self-proclaimed the Doge father, discussed Dogecoin and cryptocurrency on Saturday Night Live's Weekend Update. Playing financial expert Lloyd Ostertag, although the character was basically just the Tesla mogul playing himself, Musk was asked by co-anchor Michael Che to explain cryptocurrency.
There are times for digital money, but instead of being controlled by a central government, they're decentralized using blockchain technology.
And co-anchor Colin Jost took up to task on explaining Dogecoin.
It's the future of currency. It's an unstoppable financial vehicle that's going to take over the world. So it's a hustle. Yeah, it's a hustle.
After reaching a new high of 73 cents Friday before settling at 69 cents in the hours before Musk's SNL gig, the value of Dogecoin plummeted during and after the show itself, going as low as 43 cents. Thanks for watching. For more on the story and all your culture news, visit rollingstone.com. Welcome to
That's crazy work. Basically, he just so then yeah, he just said he took it like it was a joke. He yeah, he said it was a hustle. You know what I'm saying? Which yeah, which he was playing a different character to portray a representative of Tesla. But oh yeah, we all know Elon ain't rap too tight. He a whole genius, but you still ain't rap too tight in the head. That's crazy. But Supreme, let's talk about how much goddamn doge you had. Sheesh. Had to be a couple million doge, ain't it? To lose 12K. That's that is crazy work. Most geniuses are. I see that because I know personally. Respectfully. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Respectfully. A lot, a lot. Yeah, I could imagine. That's crazy, bro. 30 million. 30 trick. Whoa. Damn. Yeah, these charts are bad on this market. Just needed it to get to a penny. Yeah. I was spending the money in my head. Yeah, I could imagine. Day was this, the third, the fourth. So I'm just looking at some charts, and I don't know if y'all play Spy, you know, but on the charts on Spy, there's two gaps. Sounds risky, but nah, I take it back. I can't have that kind of anxiety. So Danielle, so as far as with that, if you get anxiety, you got too much money into the trade or into the stock or crypto or whatever. You get what I'm saying? You got too much money invested if it gives you anxiety. But yeah, that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. Guess I'll color these gaps and play with money. Yeah, money you could stand to lose. Yeah, that's it. That's how it's supposed to be. Night, y'all. Great convo tonight. Wish y'all a great week as well. Good night, Faith. Thank you for joining. Yes, I was on my last braid. That is hilarious. So I'm going to bed in 5 minutes since you kicking me out. So let's see what Apple is looking like. Apple. Hey, so Supreme. So I just pulled out my Apple chart, right? Um, I think that I think that Apple's gonna keep dropping, and the reason why I say this is because I see a gap on the daily chart at 180.53, a gap down to 173.49, and that gap was all the way from back last May. So I do have a solid entry point. Me personally, I say just I'm gonna play the downside. Solid entry point. Horizontal. What's that? 164.08. Do you use Robinhood or Webull? Both. I got Fidelity and Schwab too. I got a Moomoo account too. I got an E-Trade account too. It's just that Robinhood, they gotta, they gotta, they gotta up their game though. App is very friendly, user friendly for beginners, but what is Moomoo, Lord? That sounds crazy. No, Moomoo is another investing app. All right, Supreme. Danielle said no, don't do it now. So Danielle, so that orange one right there, that's Moomoo. You have an account? Yeah. Have different accounts. So that's what the Moomoo stocks accounts looks like. So let me so this is all the information that they give you. Sorry, my ring light is kind of bright, but and then the charts are really good on Moomoo, but the only thing is that it's better on a PC or a laptop or something, if you wanted to look at charts. But yeah, Moomoo is cool. So it's always better to have more than one account, just because, like Supreme was saying, sometimes some apps will crash, and if you got all your money tied up and that one app crashes, then it's like damn, play this song. Yeah, what song? Oh look, Christianity rap. Oh Lord, I don't feel like getting set on fire tonight. Then yeah, listen, you is not a gangster. I'm not gonna lie, that shit was hard. Okay, okay. Yeah, I'm down to listen to it. Music is music. If it's good music, it's good music. YouTube it. Okay. $370K subs. Oh shit. Okay. Not the best, but one of the best. Okay. Ooh, look at futures. Christian used to be super corny. Agreed. Yes, a long time ago. Okay, you didn't say no song to play, bro. Definitely didn't mention no song. No. Nah, Supreme. Lincoln by KB. Okay. Well, I can't find this. Oh, never mind. That's it.
Oh, K to the second level. Oh, oh, okay, okay. Yeah, linking on my brain. I got pennies in my name. Yeah, still gon' free the states. Oh my God, yeah, hey, yeah. Squad like DOK. Yeah, justice in my veins. We was born before the face. I could quit today. Yeah, happy off the stage. I think I've been overpaid. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, you can't censor what I say. Yeah, and downtime. I mean it, I don't rap, I check the podcast for the smoke. Yeah, I don't wanna fight with trolls. Yeah, I just wanna fight with souls. I just wanna be light, you just wanna be right. Okay, okay. Yeah, linking on my brain, might be a bullet in my name. Yeah,
Nah,
but
nah.
I'm not
I had
gonna
a text
break. I
message.
just okay.
I'm
Yeah,
listening.
like
I'm listening.
OVA, got that juice, that protein shake. Yeah, yes, I'm on my way. Yeah, as they just get heated, the mission defeated. Cause we look more like politicians than Jesus. And when you allegiance, love who you agree with. You put in your party right over the kingdom. No way. Okay, okay, yeah. Linking on my brain, yeah. I'm your navigator, yeah. Baby, the flow, you can take it to go. Sauce in the bag and it's great with a cold. Diddy the vibe and I can't revolt. Right in the land, never stay on the slow. Straight to the coast and I'm straight from the stove. I've been placing the dough without baking the soda. Got grace by the boat, I've been saved by the flow. Yo, with the cold, cut up with hope. Hey. Okay, okay, yeah. Linking on my brain, yeah, yeah. I'm Matthew McConaughey, okay, 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 okay. Linking on my brain, yeah. When they hate like Kane, yeah. I'm too honest, age, yeah. I get quit today. I am happy off the stage. I think I've been overpaid. Hey, you can't censor what I say, yeah. Check my DNA, coward, ain't no trait. I don't feel no face. My granddaddy cook and breathe. His daddy was a slave. They made meals off real estate. Turn your limits to more pain. My God is in this place. Ain't no mountain in our way. You not what you tweet. You are what you change. I'm a little hoe dealer, jiggy real cold killer, not a fear bone. In a minute, kids roll with him. We ain't throwing trash at the window. They can say the squad way little. Little hoe dealer, it's a real gold ticket. Got a real peace giver, it's a field goal hitter. I got the squad in the house. We just trying to fix it and flip it, y'all. Boys, y'all got to it all. Yeah, like five on the dot, go that. Oh, I'm not a star, throw that. Oh, I'ma make this count, no half. Oh, I am just different, ain't talking about money moves. You can see Kevin's heart ain't no funny dude. I kept it solid and I can barely talk. I see what the sun is shining. Like my daddy, hope you see me. That's your man's goal. Symbol in a Murcielago, lion and a lamb flow. Hey, grand dog, get a glance, dog. Jesus put it right to left, crossing all you sham gods. All top is a mantle. Bang go with your man's on. Stretch tracks like a damn soul. Hippin' a bramble till we go ramble. Ample ammo and I'm out of the pan. Handle the pan is handled. I'm cooking up a plan that can't fall fire. Don't it expire like a can of candles. And if I get the spigot and never pack out the fingers, the father packed up my vision. No matter where my fans go. When I just get to speaking about the way my faith goes. I'm thinking about, I'm dreaming about the way my faith flows. I'm coming and making it loud with these holy bank codes. We had this shit way before that case so. Just let them know if I link it. I'm for the union, I'm bleeding. I gotta be with a free here. Yeah. Kingdom, I pledge my allegiance. Little baby, we got a king here. The anthem is taking a knee here. I'm done. I'll say something for the album. Linking on my brain. Okay. Linking on my brain. I got linking on my brain. Whoa.
Nah, that was definitely fire. For real, that was good. That was cool. Theology. He's a tad more conservative, but we make it work. So I think the only thing I'm questioning as far as with that song, like what is the significance of Lincoln? It would be kind of corny because I'm thinking he was talking about like a $5 bill or something. I hope he ain't talking about no pennies. He's a Puritan. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, that song was dope though. I might have to bump that in the car with the system. That was yeah. Where you come across that song at? That was actually really good. Got a whole list. Okay, I ain't mad at that. husband used to do Christian hip hop. I liked it. I'm so far away from church. It's crazy. Oh yeah, I know all of them. Okay. Supreme. So the futures market, it had gap down, when it opened up. So I feel like it's gonna be a pump fake, and then it's gonna keep selling off. Sir, thank you for letting me hang out with y'all. I'm going to roll out. Thank you for stopping by, Danielle. That was dope. You have a good night. Well, yeah, the market ain't done selling off. Never mess with futures. Nah, me either. But the futures, it gives you kind of a forefront of a foresight into what's going on with the market. Like I just use it as a gauge of what's to happen tomorrow. Ain't that forex? Nah, the forex deals with just strictly the money, the currency. It's two different things. But so there's the gap that it created, over the weekend, and then there's a gap a little bit lower down on the charts. Now that's still gonna take a crazy drop to get down to that gap, but anything is possible. Thought about going to stocks on YouTube. Yeah, I have. I have. I ain't gonna lie to you. So, Keenan Grace. Yeah, I was thinking about that. That's actually one of the people I follow on my personal page. But yeah, I was thinking about doing that. So like even as far as it's like you could obviously you can make as many pages on YouTube as you want, and I do have my other one just sitting there. So I was thinking about doing that. Hell, and then now that has the highest RPM, and I've noticed that they get the most sponsors too, or whatever it's called, brand deals or partnerships. I ain't gonna lie, that's what I was trying to do. Like when Chris Sane, I know you talking about. I bet you it's Chris Sane. Yeah, yeah. But when I make these stock videos, I be tagging Robinhood and Schwab and Fidelity and all of them, Weeble. I be trying to hope that one of these motherfuckers is gonna be like, hey, would you like to place us in one of your videos? Oh yeah, we watch the same people for sure. Then I knew some of the people Faith has mentioned, like Aristotle Investments. Um, I follow a lot of people. But with build your following on that. Yeah, that's true. Like I ain't gonna lie, I didn't think so many people was actually into the stocks and shit like that. So I was thinking kind of like, if I get to that partial monetization where I could have the members only and shit, I was gonna make that, more stock talk or whatever. He said they are. Yeah, I think it's cool like with being a smaller channel with the engagement. If you got thousands of people, you can't actually respond to everybody. That's gonna kind of kill the engagement. But yeah, I share my videos on damn TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I tag them on everything, so shit, it is what it is. He said, "Look, was you on my 1K live? Yeah, yeah, I was there. I couldn't keep up with the chat. Right, right, right. Yeah, that was kind of fire though. Couldn't imagine 1,000 people. Yeah, you ever slowed the chat down? I think you can manage how often the messages will come through to the chat, or would you just keep it like it is? Let the chat just run. Never did that. Yeah, I feel you. Feel you, bro. Damn, it's after midnight already. Shit. May try that, cause damn. And I mean, it's cool that the chat was live like that. Okay, I'm going to get ready later. Yeah, I'm about to do the same though, Supreme. For real, for real. You going live in the morning? Good shit. I'll be there. You still got to study. I feel you, bro. All right, though. I'll catch you out. I'll catch you in these YouTube streets. Appreciate you stopping through, bro. So we're gonna end the live here. Thank you for everybody that joined. Thank you for everybody that's watching the replay. I really appreciate it. I hope you learned something. Everybody, take care, stay blessed, stay elevated. I'll see you in the next one. Salute.